Why is eczema such an enigma? Everybody says that. Everyone I talk to, my clients, people that I encounter on Facebook, everybody is confused. There are so many professionals, dermatologists, specialists, and they go into all of these specific possibilities of what could cause eczema, what is at stake, what is at play, what factors, but they don't have a true sustainable solution. So my name is Anessa, and I am a detoxification coach who had eczema 12 years ago and in 3 months was able to reverse it for good. And because of all of these experiences that are personal and then later experiences that are professional, I put 2 and 2 together and I got to understand eczema on a deeper level that's more holistic, that's more ingrained in that human experience that a lot of, I think, people out there don't present. So I wanted to approach eczema in a different way, and I hope this video kind of shows you that there is a different way of seeing eczema and of curing it for good. So to have more voices that empower people out there to be the driver of this journey that they have to experience when it comes to their disease and not a victim is so important. So that's what I really want to do. I want to make this eczema journey pleasant. I want it to be transformational. I want people to be empowered with knowledge and not confusion that is simple and intuitive. You know, part of the reason why I started this channel is because of the way eczema is presented, both in the medical but also in the health circles. It's always presented as this enigma that's really, really hard to tackle. When it comes to eczema and any disease, it is the chemistry that counts. So chemistry of your thoughts, chemistry of your foods, chemistry of your emotions. If your emotions, thoughts, and foods are predominantly acidic, your body's going to get inflamed. And that can express as eczema. For some people and a lot of different people, it's expressed as a different disease. It just depends what we're genetically predisposed to and which areas of our bodies are weaker. But if we give the body a lot of good chemistry, if we embrace our days with peace and calm and elevated emotions, and we work on our lives so we feel present and more happy about the future, all of those thoughts are going to ease and nourish the organs and the systems and the processes. And that is going to, over time, so we have to do this over time, that is going to strengthen our body. We can ignite the body's healing mechanisms. And the body needs energy, the body needs chemistry, the body needs a lot of good stuff for a long period of time to have the capacity to deal with this level of systemic inflammation. So what we do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit next month, but don't see full results is because the body is trying to do as much as it can with the resources it has. So the body compensates and it uses its energy for what it needs immediately. So once it has those needs met, those immediate needs, such as digestion, activity, purgation of, the most heavy toxic chemicals, all of that goes first because it wants to preserve us. It wants to keep us alive. But if it doesn't have energy for healing, it's not going to prioritize that extra energy for that. It's going to preserve its energy for more of trouble that comes its way. So when it's in a relaxed state, when it has everything it needs for a long period of time, then the body seems to almost kind of say, I'm in a state of abundance, of fullness, of great emotional, mental, and chemical state. So in that empowered state, the body is going to feel elevated. It's going to feel that it can take the risk to utilize its precious energy towards healing. And it does that slowly. So it diverts the energy from survival to healing. So the more energy we have, and less energy we spend on our bodies trying to process toxic foods, trying to process and manage stress, trying to survive in toxic environments, the more energy we're going to have. So if the body itself needs to feel safe and secure in order to have the resources to heal, then what about us? We also need to feel that safety and security in our lives. Feel present, not feel anxiety about the future or, anger about the past. We have to feel present. We have to feel at peace where we are, because that peace is going to put us in a state of balance. It's going to give us acceptance. It's going to give us awareness that we don't have to be in the fight or flight, because that's not going to change our circumstances. We can build our circumstances in a peaceful state, from a peaceful, self-aware, extremely present state. So that is the key. The key to eczema is not being in survival and insecurity. We have to build that internal security, safety, and stability within us to then signal the body, you're safe. You're safe to heal. You're safe to thrive. And that's where we have to start. Because thinking of eczema as something that you can treat with, a certain soap bar, a bleach bath, a medical chemical, it's absurd, because that's not what eczema is. It's not at all understanding eczema. That is just trying to manage our state. And when we manage our state, we're not actually looking into what is causing it. We're just trying to make ourselves feel better. It's kind of like eating junk food because we're stressed. It makes us feel better and manages our stress symptoms in that moment, but overall it's going to make us feel and be worse off in terms of health. So eczema is the same way. We have to address the feelings of safety and security and find peace and balance in our lives. And that comes with acceptance and sometimes, a lot of times forgiveness and resignation, and being okay with having had these losses and being okay where we are so we can rebuild to where we want to be. So if that means, you have to move back home, you have to live by the beach for 2 months, you have to find yourself, going part-time in your job or quitting, then that is what you have to do to see results. Because what the body is telling you with eczema is, I don't feel safe. Something within your external environment, our external environment, or our internal interpretation of that, or our anger and emotions and our past programming and our expectations of ourselves, all of that is so skewed that it's so not serving us. So we have to go back to what is serving us. What is something that we're good at? What is something that we're so proud of ourselves about? What do we enjoy doing? What are those activities that bring us that state of peace and calm and balance? Let's do more of that. Let's look at our, where we're suffering, what is causing us suffering. Maybe something that's not in our hands. But then again, you can approach it in a way that is, well, if it didn't happen, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I have to live my life despite it not happening. And I have to nourish myself and grow and become the person that I want to become. So, eczema actually is not really an enigma. In a way it is, because of how we're exposed to all these medical and health coaches and professionals talking about it or understanding it from that perspective. But once you understand it as a psycho-emotional physical state, then the answer is in the psycho-emotional physical state. And that's where we begin. You can cure it, but you can't treat it, because treatments are temporary. They manage symptoms. What true healing does is it reverses everything that's out of balance and puts our state in puts our bodies and our physical, mental, emotional state in balance, in harmony. So that is where I want to take you. I don't want to take you on this journey of treatments, although temporary treatments, temporary soothing, temporary daily management techniques are very important and helpful. But we can't stay in that. We have to move past the treatment thinking and think of systemic reversal, systemic curation. We spend money on fads, but we're not willing to invest money into a long-term holistic protocol that is going to ask of us to transform, to change our habits, to really get to the bottom of what's causing the problem and have the tools so we can navigate the world and our lives and our bodies in a better way. We want immediate solutions because they make us feel better in the moment and they don't ask much of us. Instead, we have to look deep inside. The solution is the hero's journey. The hero's journey is the deep dive into ourselves and into our patterns, into our archetypes, into our ways of existing in the world, into what we are here to do in terms of not existing but living. What are we aligned with energetically? Where do we want to put our energy? All of those themes, all of those questions have a lot to do with self-awareness, self-investigation, and ultimately self-transformation. And in order to get to the complete healing, we have to be invested in long-term and maybe tough and maybe hard, but long-term self-transformation that is going to put us in a different place mentally, emotionally, and physically. And we have to be okay with that, even if it's scary. So if you say yes to that journey, then curing eczema is absolutely possible. 100%. And ultimately, I want people to understand more about health and their bodies and how their bodies work, how the natural law is a reflection of what goes on inside the body. And if you follow those laws, then you will always be in harmony. Your body loves you. It wants you to be secure, safe. It wants you to thrive. And the reason why the imbalance happens, it's a signal that the body sends that something's not okay. It's its messaging system. Our symptomology is the body's messaging system. So when we listen to the body and we give it what it needs and we remove what it doesn't, the body will always thank us and repair. The answers are actually within ourselves. So ultimately, we are in the driver's seat. And we can only look to others as guides, but not as saviors. So if you resonate with this message and this knowledge, then you'll love my free mini course where I go deep dive into all these elements, holistic elements that are at the root cause of eczema, and how, if you understand them, you'll have the right blueprint to reverse your eczema in 90 days. It's part of my free community where I help women get to that point. So I support them and I provide them with different tools and knowledge, and all of that is free. So if you resonate with that, if you want more knowledge, then you can find all of that in the description below. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and see you next time.